Businesses and the economy as a whole are being impacted by the notable price rises for products and services brought on by Nigerian inflation. Meanwhile, inflation's effect on Nigerians' businesses is a serious issue that requires monetary and fiscal policy solutions. The increase is a result of year-round constraints on living expenses that impact both urban and rural regions. Now, even the possibility of more uncertainty and lower investment makes matters more difficult. Mifemi Akintwawa has more on this report.
At the moment, Nigeria is dealing with a high inflation rate. The inflation rate was reported to be 22.97% in May of 2025. This has been a recurring problem for the Nigerian economy and represents a considerable increase over prior years. The main causes of this growth are rising food prices, rising energy prices, and currency devaluation. The devaluation of the naira and the elimination of fuel subsidies have had a major effect on supply chains and manufacturing costs, which has increased inflationary pressure overall.
The society, the Nigerian state itself, is grappling with a problem of inflation in so much that people cannot afford basic necessity that they need for their daily life. It's an unfortunate situation, and we believe, from what we read from the pages of the newspaper and in the news, that government is on top of the situation to ensure that the situation is kept at bay.
The rise in the inflation in this country has gone so beyond what we expected. Because me as a business person, it has very much affected my sales, affected my productivity. So it's a big problem right now in Nigeria.
Nigeria's businesses and overall economic growth have been greatly influenced by inflation, which has resulted in higher prices, lower purchasing power, and slower economic growth. Companies, especially small and medium-sized businesses, SMEs, have to deal with issues such as growing input costs, declining sales as a result of lower consumer spending, and trouble getting credit. In terms of economy, high inflation reduces purchasing power, deters investment, and may impede sustained economic expansion.
So individuals, it affects their standard of living by reducing, because inflation is like a tax. It reduces the consumption capacity, the capacity to consume. Inflation will increase, that is because of increase in prices, the value you will get from your money will be reduced. Therefore, standard of living of the people will reduce.
People lost their purchasing power. What 100,000 could buy in the past 5 years, a millionaire is probably not being able to buy it as of today. So when people are unable to buy, businesses are unable to thrive because there will be no patronage. People will not patronize as they don't have the purchasing power. Then it will lead to businesses laying off staffs, trying to reduce production or trying to ramp up production in such a way that they remain profitable and they are able to meet up their mandate as an institution. So it's a two-sided problem. The people are not living the best life, and industries are not able to cope with persistent rises in prices because they have to deal with a lot of factors in their production. You bring in goods from abroad to power your production. They are skyrocketed in terms of naira devaluation, high taxes, and having to grapple with increase in prices across board.
Nigeria's cost of living has gone up dramatically due to inflation, which has an effect on people, businesses, and the economy as a whole. Nigerians now have less purchasing power and find it more difficult to pay for basic needs like food, shelter, and transportation due to rising prices, especially for critical commodities and services.
We need to restructure the economy to capture the reality of the modern day. For instance, we have to move away from consumption, which our economy is based on largely, to production. Because when we produce what we consume, we reduce pressure in terms of foreign exchange that goes into import. And when we are able to stimulate production within our country, we increase profitability, we are able to close the gap of demand and supply. And by doing this, we were able to reduce prices along the line, and we create more jobs.
Government should know how to channel their expenditure. When there is a lot of funds in the economy, especially in government expenditure. For instance, there is transfer of funds, which includes students' loan, also include trader money, that is money that they give out as loans to traders, and also some support services from government. These are transfers that does not generate immediate products that will have direct impact on prices. So these funds in the hand of individuals who are not producing at that particular time, we need to go into the market. This results to a lot of money pursuing the very few goods in the economy. So government should channel properly their expenditure.
So one of the things that government can do is to support local industries. Then we must look at diversifying our economy towards agriculture. When farmers are able to produce on a large scale, they cannot do the job alone, they will bring in people. And when we are producing, we cannot eat what we produce alone. We have to export some of it abroad, and it will earn us foreign reserve. And it will help the economy to stay afloat and keep running.
That's one big thing. If anything like that happens, the first person or the first group or the first channel that we need to face is the government. They are the real cause of all. They are the one who make everything so difficult for people to do. Government policies, instability in pricing. Today they say they are selling rice for 40,000. Tomorrow is 60,000 naira. So they are really the cause of all this.
The government of Nigeria can employ a mix of fiscal and monetary policies to fight the country's high inflation rate. These include increasing domestic production to lessen dependency on imports, controlling government spending on revenue, and hiking interest rates. Furthermore, boosting regional trade and enhancing infrastructure can also aid in price stabilization and inflation control. Nifemi Akintoawa, reporting for KAFTAN Television News.